the truth about toxic African fathers, yeah? So this one, you need to understand. I feel like this is important, you know? Even making a video like this can seem like I'm grilling fathers or getting on, but I feel like it's important to put this out because there's a lot that you need to understand from this, yeah? So toxic African fathers, and this is especially for you if you have like felt pressures from growing up. There's certain things that are still left with you. There's like communication with your father may be difficult at times. Like it's a bit tricky, confusing, you know? And like, you really need to understand this. And once you understand this, everything is going to make sense because it's not as deep as it seems, you know? And what has happened is deep, but once you understand it, you feel me? Like you're going to be able to see it a lot different. And for me, like there's been many times where I've sat and thought about it. I'll be like, why is the connection like this? Why is it this way? You know, could it have been different? Can it change? And you know, it's not in your hands to change it, but once you change this, like you change your perspective, you change how you see everything, I'm showing you now everything is going to be different and you're going to be able to connect with yourself on a deeper level because once that relationship's not there, I'm telling you now, like there's going to be a disconnect within you, but I'm going to show you how to free yourself from that in this video. Yeah, let's get into it. What's going on? My name is Christopher Daniels. Welcome to the Don't Stress, Don't Panic family. You know, if you're new, welcome to you, especially if you're back, welcome back, you know. I'm going to get straight into it this time, yeah? So literally toxic African fathers. And I feel that it's important to bring this up, you know. And one thing that I've noticed and one thing that I feel like everybody needs to understand is perspective. And a man is always going to be in pursuit of what they feel like is best, you know. As a man, like men watching this and again, men like our fathers again, they're in pursuit of what they believe and they're going to stick to that. So a lot of the times what we can interpret is they're being this way about us, they're being that way to us. And it's not always the case because what I've actually grown to understand is that the connection that I have with my father has helped me in many ways, you know what I'm saying to you. At the same time, it slowed me down in many ways, you feel what I'm saying to you. So it's both. But as a whole, I feel like it's been for my betterment. I'm in a better place because of a lot of the stuff, even though there's a lot of work that I have to do. You feel what I'm saying to you? There's a lot of stuff that I have to learn by myself. And because of that fact, like when I learn things by myself and when you learn things by yourself, you're going to understand it on a much deeper level. So let's get into like what this all is. Like for me, it may be the same for you. Like there's certain times where I can be around my father and I feel like there's a pressure to be a certain way, to act a certain way, to maneuver a certain way, to just behave in a different way. And this may not be relatable to you, but this may be an extreme, and because of the extreme, you're going to see different things that do relate whilst I go on. So whilst I'm in the presence, there's times where I feel like, cool, I've got to conduct myself in this way or that way. Or if I'm too expressive, then it's like maybe I'm overpowering or I'm overshadowing or I'm showing a lack of respect. Because we know African fathers, it all comes down to respect. If you're disrespectful towards, you know, it's going to cause problems, and that's not something that a lot of people want to do. And sometimes it happens where the disconnect happens or disrespect happens, and then you stop speaking to your father for a long time because of that, you know what I'm saying? So what you've got to realize, and one thing that actually showed this to me was if you read Way of the Superior Man, yeah, there's a chapter in there, and the chapter's entitled I'm paraphrasing, but live as if your father's dead, yeah? And when I read that, it kind of touched me, yeah? Touched me in a way. Don't get me wrong, I'll never wish that. I will never wish that, you feel what I'm saying to you. Like I said, I've learned so much, and I'm grateful to have had my father present, and he's still alive, and I'm still happy to have him here, you feel what I'm saying to you. So I don't wish that, you feel me? But that chapter, you feel, spoke volumes, yeah? And it's like, if there was no pressure there, like what would you do? How would you be? How would you maneuver in the world? Like what is it that you would do now that you wouldn't do if they were present? You feel what I'm saying to you? And it's for me, like I thought, alright, cool. Even though I never wished that, I started to think like, what would I do? How would I feel? How would I move? And you feel me? There's no one to to ask for advice. There's no one to help you. There's no one to come, and just be there for you. There's no aid. That's gone. You feel what I'm saying? What would you do if that was the case? And for me, it's like you have to dig a lot deeper, And I started thinking, who am I? And I look at my father and a lot of his traits, and I am him in one way or another. I came from him. So there's a lot of things that I've learned from him that I still embody from till today. That, it could be good, it could be bad, it could help me, it could not help me. But at the same time, I ask myself, what are these things? Because you got to recognize that if you were raised by them especially, there's going to be a lot of tendency that they have that you may have within you. And once you uncover that, you got to understand, are these tendencies and traits that I want to move forward with, or do I want to develop new traits and then move beyond that? And what it came down to for me is that, what am I doing? Like, what is it that I want to put out into the world? Once I understood what I wanted to put out into the world, I understood that there's certain things that I learned that I have to unlearn, because it's not going to help me on that pursuit of doing me, of being the best version of me, like to be able to do what I need to do in this world. You know what I'm saying to you? But you got to understand this always, I always say this, like, gratitude is a must. It's important to not confuse this and say, cool, I wish this person was not there, I'm telling you, like, once you unpack everything, there's so many lessons that you're going to learn. And I always say, like, be grateful for your fathers, for their presence and what they've taught you. But at the same time, if you are a man, like, there's going to be a time where you have your family, you're going to have your setup, you're going to have your life, and you need to be able to run that. You feel what I'm saying? You need to be able to run your life and be organized. You feel what I'm saying? All those pressures that were on you, you need to be able to unlearn them. And there's times where, like, if they're around you still, you need to, again, be able to embody, like, who you are. Disconnect from that and embody who you are. Once you're able to do that, things are going to be magnificent for you. I'm telling you, the shift is going to occur. This happened, like, for me, like, the realization, it started brewing, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, a lot of people tell me that I've seen people that have stopped speaking to their fathers and they're doing amazing. I've seen people that are still talking to their fathers and they still got this a little bit of these people-pleasing tendencies, people-pleasing tendencies, and they're not as dominant as they could be. Why? Because there's somebody that's more dominant than them in their life. You feel what I'm saying to you? And all of the energies that were put there are slowing them down in one way or another. But I'm telling you, once you are able to break free from, like, that hold, and you step into that and understand that now, like, you are no longer a child, you're a man. So it's like that transition has to occur. Otherwise, I'm telling you, you're going to be stuck down. That pressure's still going to be there. That pressure, that because he's above, and there's that, he's there and then you're there. And that is, in one way, you could say that that's the case. But at the end of the day, in your world, that can't be the case. And don't get me wrong, always show, well, depending on the relationship, I'll say show respect. I'll always show respect. You feel what I'm saying to you? But when I'm in my space, I need to be the top of that. You feel what I'm saying to you? I need to be able to run that. I need to be able to communicate effectively. There can't be anyone on top, you feel, apart from, like, the creator on top always. Other than the creator, I need to run that. You feel what I'm saying to you? The assistance of the creator, I need to run that whilst I'm in my space. Whilst I'm in his presence and I'm in, and there's a connected space, cool. Like, I'm going to show respect. That's just how it is for me. You feel what I'm saying to you? And depending on your relationship, you're going to be able to judge that. But what I say is this. Until you're able to break free of those shackles, they stay there on a mental level. I'm showing you, they stay there on a mental level until you're able to unwrap that. And if you're still somebody that doesn't communicate as effectively, you're shy at times, you don't speak up at times, you might have had times that when you were younger that you tried to communicate something to your father and it was difficult, like you're stuttering, or you felt like, how can I say this? But to your mom, it might be easy to communicate. Like, you can say what you want and they'll receive that and take it, but it might be that block with your father. Feel what I'm saying to you. And once you uncover that and you unwrap that and you're able to say, cool, this is where it is, you can move forward in a much better way, because that ceiling is gone now. You know what I'm saying to you? That ceiling is gone. Recognize that you have to step up and be there. And I keep saying this, don't get me wrong. It's not to say that you don't show them respect, like your fathers, but at the same time, you need to be able to step in and do what you need to do as a man, because that's you. Like, no one's coming to save you. You recognize that? Like, no one is coming to save you. You've got to create and design the life that you want to, regardless of what happened in the past. And once you're able to tap in and do that, a major shift. And during that transition process, give yourself time. If it takes months, if it takes years, give yourself that time. And at the same time, show that respect. If you need time away to be able to do this, like time away from people just to reconfigure and settle into the life that you want to create, that's fine. But at the end of the day, like, whilst the pressures or you see somebody above you, you're going to limit, because you feel like there's this ceiling there, but that ceiling's not there. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, you need to step up and do what you got to do. And at the same time, you can still ask for help, still ask for assistance, but recognize you're operating from two different places. Like, you're a leader within your world, he's a leader within his world. And he's always going to pursue what he wants to do. He's always going to move how he wants to move. Like, don't expect anybody to change, and change for you, because that's their natural essence. And I'm telling you, it's probably helped you in more ways than you understand right now. And I can talk about how it helped me just so that you do understand. Cool. There's been times where I've wanted to ask again. I wanted to ask for stuff. And I felt like, if I don't ask for stuff, if I can't ask, but because I couldn't ask, I had to do these things myself. And there's so many things that I've learned how to do myself because I couldn't ask, the voice wasn't there. But now, it's easier for me to do things for myself. Like, I'm better at managing money. I'm better at showing up on time. I'm better at communicating things that I need done. But these all happen as a result of, like, not being able to ask. Because I couldn't ask, I had to do them things myself. You feel what I'm saying to you? And now, where I'm learning to communicate more effectively, everything starts to come together. Yeah. So don't look at these things as a burden, because if you do, you're not going to change. You're not going to be able to transition out of that place. You feel me? So for me personally, I'll say, like, the fathers and what they do, even though, like, it may seem like it is toxic, like, it helps. Once you unpack it, it is going to help. You feel? It all comes down to unpacking, like, what actually happened. And it's not as bad as it seems. It's just a perspective, because they're doing the best they can, and they're loving you the way that they feel like is the best way to. You feel me? And what's within them, because same way they probably had it 10 times worse than we've had it. You get what I'm saying to you? From their fathers, So it is where it is, But at the same time, it's helped you in ways that you may not be able to understand now, but for you just need to unpack that. Once you unpack that and you start to move forward in a way where you are being you, authentically you, and unlearning some of the traits again that are holding you back, that's it. You're gone. But it takes patience, it takes time, it takes dedication, it takes bravery. You feel what I'm saying to you? It takes discipline. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, respect your father always. You get what I'm saying to you? At the same time, understand who you are. You feel me? Understand who you are and tap into that and connect to that. We say toxic, but is it really toxic, or is it just them being like natural to them being their authentic self? And it's them being authentic. You feel what I'm saying? If it comes across toxic, then you need to, like, disconnect a little bit, find yourself, find who you are truly, and then everything's going to shift. And then you're going to start doing things in a much more authentic way, and you're going to feel a lot lighter. Yeah. Don't stress, don't panic. Just unlearn everything that's not serving you, and I'm telling you, you're going to feel a lot lighter. If you've learn anything valuable from this video, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure that you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Other than that, I will be seeing you again shortly. Yeah. Blessings.